And you talk about, are you ready to make a change or not? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, when one really wants something badly, they have to self-prepare for change, whether they like it or not. And usually it's not pleasant at the beginning. And it's often not pleasant for a while. But you gotta brace yourself and do it because you should know that the reward at the end is so worth it.
Absolutely. You know, bracing yourself for impact, you know, understanding that you have to get, your life might have to get more uncomfortable for you to have a more comfortable life in the end.
Think with your legs.
How do I think with my legs?
Get out there! Cobra Kai never dies, say it.
Cobra Kai never dies.
Say it like your life depends on it.
Cobra Kai never dies.
I had to make myself really uncomfortable. I had to get myself out of a bad relationship, and I had, you know, not even once. I ended up in some, you know, I've restarted a couple of times. You know, it wasn't like this like smooth progression. It was more of setbacks. And I learned a lot through failure. I failed a bunch of times.
You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
And I wish there was a way that I could communicate with people how rewarding it is to make yourself so terribly uncomfortable, but in a way that you, whatever your threshold is, that you can live with. For me, it wasn't a bad life I put myself into, but I went from a pretty comfortable life to putting myself in a 700 square foot apartment to get out of a marriage that wasn't doing it for me, and making almost no money at the time. But I knew that if I didn't do that, you know, I wouldn't feel fulfilled in the long term. Like, I'm just picturing myself as like this 50-year-old dude. I'm like, no, this isn't it. And it's like, you know what I'm gonna have to do to get what I want is I'm gonna have to go back to nothing, go back to square one. And I know there's a lot of people that can relate that, you know, when you get, sometimes, you know, you go through a life change, you go through like maybe a divorce or someone passes away, or something, a big change. That's when people really drive towards their goals. You know, you talk to a woman whose husband just died, which I talk to a lot because that's when, you know, they sell their house then. So, you know, you talk to, you know, everybody handles it differently, but there's a certain personality type that takes that experience and they say, whoa, I'm actually going to die someday. And there's so many things that I've just not done. And I want to change, and I want to make these changes, and they do it. They make the changes that minute. And they do the stuff that they had been putting off. So like what I'm saying is a big change in life, you know, forcing, you know, sometimes you're forced into the situation that causes the change. Whether, you know, sometimes it's trauma. Sometimes it's a death or a divorce. That's trauma. And that trauma will push you so far outside of your comfort zone that you're like, okay, now I'm comfortable outside my comfort zone, so I might as well go to med school or whatever.
Let's go, Will.
What do Ned?
The first few days you sleep 5 hours, then 4, then 3, then 2. The last day you don't sleep, you just run.